Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online challenge. We're back with Eldrazi Tron on the draw for game one. And we're looking at Tron on 3 right now, so that's looking nice. Opponent is supposedly on Burrow's Energy, but we'll see if that does pass to be true. Marsh Flats, fetch, 19. Put Mulligan down to 5. Sacred Foundry looking like energy. Paying cost, there's Ragavan. Tempted to dismember here over map, to be honest, but with all his dust being drawn off top, I think we'll go with the map after all. We'll pass. And pass. Because, yeah, now if they overextend into dust, we should just win on the spot. Even if they ramp off the Ragavan. Ragavan will hit down to 18. Yep. Finds K command. It'll like that, admittedly. Tis a Plains and Guide of Souls. And anything else? And Goblin Bombardment. One card left in hand. We'll play the tower. We'll pass. Again, if they just overextend into All's Dust, then I do not care all too much. We'll definitely take some damage, but c'est la vie, right? We'll take, let's see, another 3 down to 15, a theoretical 2 down to 13. So after All's Dust, we should be at 13 life, as it stands right now. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit more at this point. Triggers. Cat triggers. What they should do now is sack cat, target me down to 17. Flip a Johnny trigger. Yep, yield to all. So we were initially at a theoretical 13. I think this will bring us down by additional... Wait, why would you not activate a Johnny prior to combat? That way you could float the Guide of Souls. Weird. Unless you have another creature in hand that you want to play prior to. That'd be my only thought. Ugin. That would have been nice. A Johnny. A Johnny triggered, target me down to 11. A theoretical 8. Yeah, we could have been to theoretical 6 at this point. Crack map, power plant. And now we'll leave them with 1 card in hand, nothing on board. We'll be down to 8. Karn follow up the next turn. And a Dismember at the ready. Opponent's Tinkin. We'll grab the power plant. And draw. Another Temple. Cast Dust and pass in full. Sack all 3 down to 8, leaving them with 1 card in hand. It's not a 1-mana value spell at the very least, otherwise they probably would have played it prior to activating a Johnny. Could be discharged, theoretically. Yep, bombardment goes off. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I mean, for a 5-card hand, they still, played pretty well there, let's be real. And pass. Next turn we have Karn. Again, really would have liked that Ugin that Ragavan pilfered. 2 cards in hand, 3 mana. What now? Yeah, again, we could have been down to 6 theoretically. A Johnny. Okay. Land and passing. Draw. Pithy Needle. So what I can do here then, play Swamp. Cast Karn. 4 mana remaining. Minus Karn. Yes. Let's see. For 4 mana, opponent's going to scoop it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Let's move the sideboard. And for sideboard here, let me open up my sideboard guide that I updated. Eldrazi Tron. Let's see. Against energy, we want Chalice out. Vaccine Bubble out. Ballista EE in. And then thinking about bringing a flute in. Yeah, I'm not sure if the flute is necessary, because again, there's not much I want to cut here. Could also cut explosives or ballista. Explosives might be better to cut for the flute, but I think I actually might just say no to the flute for now and run it back like this. I do think maybe the flagship being a filigree Silex would be better. That way still have an EE effect in the side. But, c'est la vie. We'll be on the draw for game 2. Yeah, we'll keep this. We're looking for a Tron land. We do have Dismember available if needed. Of course, worst case scenario by and large would be Blood Moon Charmaw. Well, Void Mirror is something to consider. Right now, it's only being played in small quantities, specifically in Eldrazi Ramp. If it does become more popular, then we just swap the Mind Stones for Talismans, and then it's more or less okay. There's a reason why I'm running double swamps rather than a swamp and a waste, which it was more common prior to the usage of Void Mirror again. Opponent starts with 6. We're looking for Mine or Tower off the top with Devourer. There's Marsh Flats, fetch 19. Sacred Foundry, shock. Down to 17. If it's a Ragavan, I think I might Dismember here. I'm not gonna lie. Because Ragavan can accelerate into Charmar Moon, which I'm a bit worried about, admittedly. The other option is to go Fleshraker instead of for a Fleshraker instead. We still have another 7 hits off top if I don't take the mine. The alternative options, I just outright ignore their game plan. But I think it might be smarter to either go the K command or the Fleshraker. K command can be used as removal, Fleshraker can't be, but Fleshraker can ramp us pretty significantly. The alternative is also to grab a second map and then just say, let's see what they got. But I think I'll take the K command, play a little bit more reserved, play around the potential of Charmar Blood Moon. Let's go for the K command. Draw, play Temple, and then hold. I guess we also could have played Power Plant just to see if we draw into a mine or a tower. Should probably play around Charmaw and play the Swamp over the Power Plant just so that way They don't get enabled faster. Go to combat. Let's not belabor the point. Ragavan down. Do not want you accelerating into a turn 2 moon if I can help it. Arid Mesa. Paying cost for Guide of Souls. And passing. Draw. I will play the Swamp again to play around the possibility of a Charmaw. Imagine Arid Mesa, Fetch Surveil. And I think we just go K Command, Ramp, Exile, Guide of Souls. Arid Mesa Fetch, down to 16, 16 all. Elegant Parlor Surveil. Parlor Surveils into Marsh Flats. Pass. And hold. And they could still have Blood Moon. Do I care about an attack right now? For one, no. I'll let the attack through and see what they play on the second main before I activate K Command. Down to 15. Land. Paying cost for what? A Johnny. A Johnny is a concern. We could take out a Johnny on my turn. If they attempt to flip a Johnny, we can exile the spawn right now. So it's probably better for me to hold this K command. Well, I would like to get rid of the Guide of Souls. Guide of Souls triggers. Like, between the two, yes, the Guide of Souls is an issue, but the Johnny is more of an issue over time. And next turn, if we K Command X2, exile a Johnny, then we should be able to play either Sire 7th or the Vow of Destiny the following turn. Trigger, and end step. And draw. Second map. Second map is good. We'll play the power plant. We'll hold. And we'll hold. Paying cost for what? In response. Ramp and exile a Johnny. Done. You have a discharge? A Johnny down, bombardment resolves. Paying cost for Ragavan. Ragavan triggers guide. Alright. I imagine attack with cat guide, float cat. It's actually maybe floating the guide might be better. Attack with cat. Why not attack with guide? No reason not to. Yeah, let's attack with both. Or, okay. Yeah, I'm down taking less damage. So we'll take 3 in the air down to 12. Theoretical 9. Do you sack a cat to kill a spawn is the question. End step. Upkeep. Draw. Main. In that case, play power plant. We could play Sire. The question is, do we die on the swing? It's unlikely. We'll take, let's say, 4 down to 8. an additional 3 down to 5, even if they sack whatever I'm blocking with the Sire. So I think the Sire's still correct. And we'll pass. So now their outs are Static Prison or Bust. They don't have a Static Prison here, they're in trouble. A Johnny. A Johnny might actually get them there, unfortunately. Damn. Because now they can float another card of Guide. So this is really representing 5, 6, 7, let's say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think that is lethal. Well, I mean, that's assuming that I don't block the Guide. Whatever the strongest power is, let's say the Guide's at 5, you block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd be down to 2. So we're not dead yet. If they split, let's say on the Ragavan, we block the Ragavan, so that represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I might still be alive. Down to 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 1. Oh no, I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Floats what? Floats the cat. Yeah, we block the cat, take 5, 6 here. Unfortunately, while the Sire would have been good without the Johnny, Johnny sealed the deal. We could have devoured the Goblin Bombardment, but I think in the grand scheme here, the Sire's 7 deaths was correct, because their only out was Static Prison of Johnny, I guess. Yep, then ping me for 1. Unfortunate. Yep, you got it. Let's go to game 2. We'll bring in Chalice of the Void and cut the Gemstone Caverns and run it back. Brutal. This was my other out there. Devour, Eat, Bombardment. That's about it. Devour, Eat, Guide. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, let's take a look at what our opponent's going to be bringing in. I mean, of course, they're going to bring in Moon, Charmaw, potentially Molten Rain. We just have to basically play around the non-basic hate package. I guess another question is, was it better for me to get rid of the Johnny when I did, or the Guide of Souls the turn earlier? I still stand by that I think a Johnny was more of a threat in that exact moment, but especially with the Bombardment, and the following Bombardment, I think definitely made the decision easier that a Johnny was the right target. Right now we are in the Fleshraker version, not the TKS version. It's either Fleshraker or TKS because I am playing Tezzeret. Tezzeret pretty much eats up those other remaining 3 slots. I could arguably not play Tezzeret and still play the Tezzeret package main, but the fact that Tezzeret basically gives you access to 3, 6, 9, 12 additional cards for all intent and purpose is very impactful. On the play for game 3. What makes this hand better? Another Soul Land. It's much more interactive. I'll keep it. We're looking for Soul Lands, so 7 hits off top, but we're digging for deep. Any land will also do as we go into Mind Stone, but I do think this hand is keepable. We have Dismember on turn 1. We have K Command on 2. Though we probably can just play this Soul Guide Lantern on 1, to be honest. Though, possibly just fine not playing it right away. Depends what they play on 1, I suppose. Trigger, what do we find? Soul Lands, please. Opponent kept 6. Yeah, Solons are preferred, but then any land after that is tolerable. What say you, opponent? Do I get to look at my top 4? Opponent is Tinkin. Not sure what about, though. I think they also are duo queuing from what MTG Bot was saying, so possible that they may have stepped away from their keyboard. Oof, that top is rough. I will say no to all, I think. No to all. So in that case, I will be playing the Soul Guide Lantern as a redraw, potentially. And we'll pass. Again, we have 7 hits off top, roughly 1 out of 7 chance. And then we have 23 lands, 22, so we have 22 out of 50, roughly a 50% chance of drawing 1 off top. Worst comes to worst, we have Dismember, or we can cycle the Guide of Souls, or not Guide of Souls, the Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card if we are desperate enough. And the fact that I had to pitch 2 Fleshraker, all as dust is rough. Hard to say whether or not the Fleshraker version or TCAS version is right now. Both of them performing really well, so I'm happy playing either or, but we'll be doing more in-depth testing across next season to know for certain what I'm going to be bringing to RC Vegas at the very least. Ragavan must go, so whether or not we draw into a land or not, this Dismember is going for this Ragavan land. Hey, look at that. There's our Soul Land. So we will imprint the Devourer. Do I play the Mind Stone? Mind Stone is tempting as it is a permanent artifact. And then we can either K Command or Dismember as needed. I'll play the Mind Stone. I think I might just hold the K Command, play the Dismember instead, honestly. I'll pass. One, two, three, four, five, six. Go to combat, Dismember Ragavan. Ragavan down. Second main. Arid Mesa fetch. I think I might draw out the Soul Guide, honestly. White Orchid Phantom. Now that was a card I was not expecting to see. Huh. Alright, well, that's very unfortunate, to be honest. Yep, we will find a swamp. And I will draw a card off a Soul Guide Lantern. There's Ugin. Wild. White Orchid Phantom. Let's see then. I think we just hold the K command. I'm doubting that they have any blink effects. They don't have double red yet, so I'm not worried about moon just yet. Yeah, the White Orchid was very much unexpected. I mean, yeah, you get to play it earlier if I'm on the play, I suppose. Interesting. Very interesting. Go to combat. We'll take the 2. Because next turn we can play Ugin. I think Ugin should just close the game out, unless he disrupt me further. Wear Tear. Well, that's just rude. Float. Yeah, they're trying to keep me off of 7 is the bottom line here. Ramp Scry draw, so we need a land here. X equals 3. Ooh, I like all of this. Thinking we go... Ooh, how do I want to do this? I guess we can draw into the Devour off the Ugin. So if you go Devourer top, map top, tower top, draw. Then draw map. Play tower, cast Ugin. And I think short of a static prison, this should just be the game. Plus Ugin or 0? I think plus here. We could 0 play map, set up for Tron next turn, have access to Devourer. That's a genuine consideration in case they do static prison, but I think we just plus here, draw a card, and pass. Because their main out is static prison. And right now they've missed land drops. They're behind on board. Opponent scoops it up, we'll take the win. Solid stuff. Alright, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. Supposedly against Goryos. This hand's interesting to me. So we have 8 hits off the top. We have a temple, 2 maps. So even if we do whiff, we can still crack map on 2. Then another map on 3, so we have Tron on 4. We'll keep it. Screw it. Supposedly our opponent's on Goryo, so we could just go a Needle at some point for Frog or Bones. Chalice on 2 at some point for Bones, Frog, and Goryos. Some thoughts there, some thoughts. But the last round got bugged out, and we were locked in, just waiting for a match to finish. So it's possible that our opponent has stepped away from the keyboard, so we'll be back once they have returned. Alright, opponent's back. They kept their opening hand. Play tower, play map, and pass. You got a force? Let's see it if you do. There's the force, pitching force. Okay, so opponent basically starts at 5 cards. We basically start at 6. Annoying, but fine. We have another map. I'd love to see a Tron land. Marsh Flats fetch. Draw. Flesh Raker. I do like the thought of that. I will play Mr. Flesh Raker. I'm really tempted to play Chalice on 0. Chalice isn't doing too much until we have 4 mana. We're not going to have 4 mana for a lot, but I kind of want to Pithy Needle into Frog. So I'm going to Chalice for 0. I'm going to trigger. Because if they play Frog next turn, I kind of want it turned off. Fetch, Marsh Flats, Yield. Do you have a push? That would kind of suck. Now they're going to Surveil. Yield to all. Mount or Hollowed Fountain. There's Solitude pitching Ephem. Solitude Exiles. Yep, can't do much about that. I think I still go forward with the Pithy Needle. Pithy Needle. Naming site Chick Frog. Alright, opponent's down to 3 cards, going up to 4. We do need a land here. Again, would love us another Tron land. We have 8 hits off the top for that. We'll pass. Yeah, this is where, once again, open deck list would help out a lot. If I knew that, for a fact of playing Goryos, that Needle Call is perfect. But they're just going to pass. 3 cards in hand, 2 lands on field, and K command. Do we hold the K command? It's probably correct to, for assuming that this is Goryos. It does suck that we're missing a land drop, though, admittedly. I think holding the K command is correct. Marsh Flats, fetch 18. I also have to keep in mind that they do play Consign main. Surveil. Atrox at a yard. Alright. And we hold. They also miss a land drop? It looks like it. Alright, we draw land. Bobble. Bobble's not it. We just kind of hold the K command then. End step. Similarly, we're just holding again. We're both missing our land drops. Holy hell. Mine? Okay, I'll take the swamp. I will take the swamp. I will cast map. Does map resolve? Alright, again, the holding K command. Question of the day, do I crack the map on end step? I think I have to just hold up mana for K command almost at all times because of Goryos on end step. So if we were to crack map, we'd want to do it on... Actually, not even second main, yeah, we just hold. Alright, land. Not there's a land I wanted, but there's land I will take. So now we can crack the map, and we can go for a Eldrazi Temple, most likely. Fetch Surveil. Fetch, 17. Playing a really weird control game right now. Surveil 1. Ephem to yard. And we'll hold until end step, in which case we'll crack the map. Alright. End step. Crack the map. For Eldrazi Temple, yeah, I think we go for Eldrazi Temple. Draw. Mindstone. Play E-Temp. Cast Mindstone. Cast Bobble. So no more Subtlety, no more Solitude right now. And we now have access to X equals 3 with the K command. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still short on playing Sire and holding K command, though. We might just crack the Bauble at some point. We'll see. They have to do something at some point. I mean, same could be said for us, but we're at least advancing our board state. Interesting. So they will go after the Bauble. I'll crack the Bauble, draw a card. That's one of the nice things about Bauble. Ooh, a second K command? Now things are looking spicy. Yeah, they have to have a force given that. No doubt about it. Second K command's good, though. Do I fire it off? I don't think I can. I have to kind of hold up K command at all times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we could tuck Sire for Ugin's Lab. Is that worth it? Because we can't play Sire. Ugin's Lab. Do I tuck Sire? I don't think I do. I want to say no. Alright, we hold. So what I can do now on their end stuff is go after Atraxa with the K command and still hold up a K command. We have 2 K commands, we can be a bit more aggressive. At some point, they can just eventually play into Atraxa out of hand, so we do have to be mindful of that. We can't just sit back forever. So we need to start advancing the board state in some way, shape, or form. Missing another land drop. Wild. So I am going to scry draw exile cards in yard. So let's go 1 with Atraxa. Do we want to go deeper is the question. We need at least X equals 1. So I'm thinking something like X equals 3 would be fair. Then hold up another X equals 2. Yeah, let's do that. I guess I could exile more cards, to be fair. Yeah, I should have exiled more cards, though I'm not sure it's as relevant in this matchup specifically. I guess getting rid of the Solitude actually would have been for Emperor Bones. That could come back to bite me. There's Goryo's. Scry draw exile. Like I said, we need to just push things forward at some point, and we're going to do it now. If they have second Goryos, the Atraxa will be able to hit board, but they won't be able to save it with a Ephem. So, like, they get the benefit of Atraxa. Well, I guess now they'll be able to consign the trigger on my end step, yeah. I guess maybe I should have done it on their second main. At the end of their second main may have been correct instead. Yeah, I think in retrospect, the right move there may have been on their second main to have done this. Because then if they Goryos, then on end step, Atraxa would have died. Yeah, in retrospect, I think that would have been correct. Though, funny enough, no consigns, no Ephem, so they have to have it in hand. Actually, no, never mind. On my end step, they won't have lands, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're good. We're good. I'm thinking crazy talk. Like, for some reason, there are lands on tap on my turn. That'd be crazy. So Atraxa's gone at the end of the day. Mine power plant. What did they hit? They hit Faithful Mending, Frog to Fairy Seas. Do I care about the power plant right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not really. I'm gonna bottom both, I think. Goryos. And then X equals 3. Tezzeret. What do we have of Tezzeret right now? Soul Guide Lantern? Soul Guide Lantern's appealing. I do like Soul Guide Lantern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. So I think we go Swamp Bottom, Tez Top, Lab Top, Draw. And cleanup. What do you pitch? So I imagine they still have another force in hand based on how they're playing. We'll see if that's the case. Atraxa Frog. They could still have another frog, I suppose. Draw. Let's see if I can bait them out with a Sire 7 Death. Maybe see if they have a Subtlety. Hits board, Ugin Lab, Imprint Sire, cast Tezzeret. Does Tezzeret resolve? Do you have the force? Tezzeret minus. For Soul Guide Lantern, play Soul Guide Lantern. Do you have the force? Tezzeret triggers, Soul Guide Lantern triggered, target Atraxa, yield to all. I mean, this board state's looking pretty strong for me. Atraxa's gone. 7 cards in hand. You could Solitude. Always yield. Alright, we hold. Sire's also pretty good into Atraxa because they can't really attack or block with it. So they need to Solitude my Sire. And we have another Sire waiting in the wings too. Let's say you opponent. That seed is looking pretty bad now, isn't it? Looking pretty bad. I wonder if they should have grabbed the land, honestly. Blue Delta, they had a land anyways. Okay. Now what? Blue Delta fetch, down to 15. They've already used 2 Goryos as well, which is significant. I guess you could Teferi bounce something, then attempt to seize out of hand, so I can't recast it. That's a genuine consideration. Okay, there's Teferi. Teferi bounce what? The Soul Guide, I imagine? No, the Sire. Okay, bold move, Cotton. Yeah. So you're going to seize that, take a total of 9 damage with another Sire on board. Which means if this Sire resolves, we have pseudo hexproof. They must have a consign in hand. That's my only explanation if they do go through the Thoughtseize. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could crack the Mind Stone. You're gonna play the frog? Weird. You know that frog can't activate, right? Alright, my turn. That's a weird choice, in my opinion. Draw. Flash Raker. Cast Flash Raker. Because if they do have a Solitude in hand, this will mean... I guess I should do it like this. Do this. This. Triggers? Yeah, if this trigger resolves, this now means that they can't Solitude my Sire. Yield to all. Unless they can sign the trigger. Tezzeret, untap Mind Stone. That way I can crack the Mind Stone or the Soul Guide if needed. Don't know what you're doing back there, bud. Still splashing. Alright, we pass. Lethal's on board. Goryo's is for all intent and purpose locked out with the Soul Guide. Blue. White. Faithful Mending resolves. Okay, up to 8. Yeah, Faithful Mending did do a lot there. And Bone scoops it up, we'll take the win. Alright, win for game 1. Let's move the sideboard. Let's take a look at the sideboard guide. Goryo's. Cut the Chalice, bring in Grafdiggers, and I think that's it. And Flute. I guess we were looking for another card to cut. Yeah, we still weren't sure what to cut there. I mean, the Pith Needle, Soul Guide, Grafdiggers, Bauble are all relevant. So if I were to bring in a Flute, what would I bring it in for? All is Dust, still relevant. Sire, as we saw, still relevant. Like, I guess we could argue a Flesh Raker, but they should be cutting Fatal Pushes, which means that if a Flesh Raker eats a Solitude trigger, then I'm kind of okay with that. So maybe the Flute isn't entirely necessary here. There's also a thought that, like, I don't think Goryo is playing Harbinger at all. We could probably cut a Swamp. Genuinely. Actually, yeah. That might be something I should do more often. In, like, decks where I know that I don't have to worry about, like, Harbinger or Blood Moon or non-basic land removal. Removing a Swamp isn't a bad idea. Yeah, if you look at Goryo's, for example, there's no Harbingers, no White Orchid Phantoms, no Vindicates. Yeah, cutting a Swamp I think is a valid choice here. Alright, yeah, that works. I should go back to my sideboard guide and think about that some more. Huh, okay. This hand looks good. And we have a Devour as well to make it even better. Absolutely. Reveal Devourer, pass in full. Yeah, the thought just came to my head. I was like, man, if I could just cut a land. I'm like, wait, I can cut a land. That's okay. Frog Tiard. Let me see off Devourer. Off Devourer. Ooh. That's Natural Tron. So we can use that map as bait. There's also Dismember, which is relevant. Because we do also Fear Force. I think I might go for the Mine. I think using the map as bait is a good idea. Alright. Play the Mine, play the map. Does it resolve? Do it, force it. Ah, goddammit. They might still Prismatic Ending it. That is another option they have available to them. Because they have to fear Tron. They already know that we have 7 mana value spell. Prismatic Ending? Perfect. Get baited. And that will slow down. Wait, no shot. Opponent kept a 1-lander? Opponent. For shame. To be fair, I've done that before too. I think actually that was my last game. So, you know, I can't say much. I mean, for them though, that's so much greedier than me. At least if I take a 1-lander, there's a freaking reason for it. I mean, I think we just go Tower Karn, right? Or do you hold the K command as permission? I mean, I kind of want to hold the K command in general. So I think we just play Karn. Get debated. Opponent, Karn? Does it resolve? You didn't have a force earlier, but you could have a consign now. That's an option. Subtlety. Yeah, that's fine. Pitches in a Troxa. A-okay by me. That's a desperation play if I've ever seen one. Yield to all. Put it right on top. I was about to say, are they going to E-Fem the freaking Subtlety? Imagine. I feel like they have the E-Fem, though. Okay, hold up the K command. Next turn we could... No, I still can't play the Devourer. We did have another land. Okay. We draw. It's not like they play Counterspell. They play Force. They play Consign. They didn't play Consign earlier. They had to pitch in a Troxa. So play the Power Plant. Try and cast Karn again. Consign? Yeah, I'm fine with that. We get to hold up K command. If you play something next turn, we have Devourer. Because again, I think we just have to hold the K command. White. Blue. Mending. Pitchin' what? Pitchin' a Troxa Grizzlebrand. Polluted Delta. When they crack that on end step, I want to K command it. I'm gonna see if they have a force. Ooh, Tezzeret, that's perfect. Cast, I actually should do it. No, I guess I should do it this way. Tezzeret. Does Tezzeret resolve? Man, I'm representing them. I'm going to play something. And you know I have Soul Guide Lantern available to me. No shot, it resolves. I will go Soul Guide Lantern. I do wonder about Grafdigger sometimes. Sometimes I do wonder if it's even worth having. I think it's good for obvious reasons. Grizzlebrand or Trox, I don't think it matters too much. No, it really doesn't. I will go Grizzlebrand. Always yield. Like, for the most part, you should always grab the Soul Guide before... before the Grafdiggers, because they can get around the Grafdiggers with Emperor Bones. Fetch Polluted Delta. At this point, I don't think I need to even cast my K command now. I was going to before, but I don't think I need to now. You just kind of chill. I guess we could have exiled the Faithful Mending with Flashback. That actually is a genuine thought. Yeah, it is Flashback 3. They'd have to take their entire turn to do so. And they get the filter. Yeah, probably correct. Probably the better line in the grand scheme. 3. Flashback. I guess the biggest question is, do I care too much about the flashback? No, but at the same time, having the Soul Guide Lantern and the K command. Yeah, taking the flashback would still be correct. Whoa. Ending on Tezzeret. Why not the ending on the Soul Guide? That's weird. Like, force me to crack it? That's a weird one. End step. I think at this point, we're just going to do this. Exile Scry Draw. And we're going to go Frog. We have what? X equals 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, at this point, I think we just kind of press our advantage. We have no reason to hold when we can just do this and ensure that it resolves. Ooh, that's a nice clutch of cards we just found. So we have Fleshraker, we have Sire, we have K commands. I think we don't need to worry too much about Goryos right now. So I'm thinking, ooh, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking we don't need to Devour too much. I'm thinking top, and top Fleshrake. And draw. Gemstone. Fleshrake. Fleshrake resolve? Sire 7 deaths. Trigger. Always yield. You got a Solitude? Maybe holding a Solitude for the Sire? And we'll pass in full. There's not many ways for them to be able to double Goryos next turn, hence why I was not concerned with not having a K command in hand. Alright. What you got, opponent? You're also at a significant time deficit. Frog? Frog's fine, we can exile Frog. Frog can pitch a card, attempt to Goryos, we Soul Guide it. That's no biggie. Alright, they're holding. Draw. K command, let's set up with the Devourer. Yield to all. Tease the frog down, or you want to try and E-Fem it? You could try and E-Fem it, but I was going to scoop it up instead. We will take the win against Goryos. Solid, solid, solid stuff. We'll be back for match 3. All right, we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. I mean, yeah, we keep this. Let's keep. So we're looking for a Tron land. This one of those instances where the hand is not necessarily functional without the second Tron land. So I think we do reveal both Devourers. Yeah, I think that's probably right. But looks like opponent might be away from the keyboard, so we'll be back once they have returned. All right, opponent is back. We're going to reveal both Devourers because I really do want that Tron land. Of course, I'm going to see in my opening 4. Hey, they also revealed Devourer. So it looks like there is, like I said, we're going to find it on our opening 4. And there's mine, and I guess we'll grab. I'm not sure it matters. I'll grab mine. Means we have less towers. I kind of want more towers, so I'm going to grab the tower then. Play power plant, play map, pass. Let's see what version of Eldrazi you are, friend. Are you Tron or are you Ramp? Looks like Tron. Okay. They're playing 1 waste. Okay. Labyrinth. Tuck Devour, Mindstone. A turn 2 Karn here would suck. 2 cards left in hand. Yeah, if they have Karn, we're in trouble. Because we have no pressure on board as it stands. Next turn we can play Devour so we can get some pressure on board. That would be the goal. We'll hold in case they play Karn. We'll crack map in response. Do you have Karn? Please don't have Karn. Oh no. Oh. Maybe exile again. Tezzeret, K command, Mindstone. Mindstone's fine. Go to end step, crack map for mine. Play mine. K command. I'm really tempted the K command here to try and dig for Karn. Right now I have access to 2, 3, 4, 5, theoretically 6 mana next turn, but I think a body on board's probably correct, and hold up the K command. If they do go Karn, Liquid Metal Coating, we can always K command through it. So we'll just go Devour to get a body on board and pass. Next turn we can either play the Gemstone or we can cycle the map for another tower. Grabs the Temples. They might be playing a Sire here, actually. Yeah, they go Sire. That'd be kind of okay, because we can exile it now. And then Scry draw. Goes 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Sire 7 deaths. Is it a Sire? Oh, K command X5. That's fine too. Yeah, I'm not too concerned. Though it depends on what your top deck looks like. So they kind of went the route that I was thinking of. So maybe we do K command this turn and go digging. If we find Karn into EE and clear, that would be pretty good. 1 top, 4 bottom, and cracking. TKS finds K command. That's kind of rude. Yep. So we're going to be top decking then. Yep. The good news is, like, they didn't find much in the way of cards either, so we're both kind of in top deck mode. Well, never mind. I'm no longer in top deck mode. That's a Karn friend. We cast Karn. How do I want to do this? We cast Karn, and then what? I mean, that bricks 2 Mind Stones. They have access to 2, 4, 5, 6 Eldrazi. Otherwise, 4 we could Liquid Metal Coating. And I think just going Liquid Metal Coating's correct here. So I'm going to go Expedition Map, Play Map, Crack, Tower, Play Tower, minus Karn. Yes, for Liquid Metal. Because we do that 1, 2, 3. They would need a land plus Karn at that point. So I think, yeah, just Liquid Metal makes sense. If they go 2... So 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough to get rid of the Devourer, so I think Liquid Metal's correct, yeah. And if they had Karn, they would have played Karn. Go to Upkeep. No attacks. Liquid Metal, target lab. Pass in full. Returns. Devour to hand. Why? I guess maybe another lab? I mean, if they play Karn, we can just grab Battleship, clear board. Yeah. Attacking Karn, so they must have a Dismember in hand, that's fine. Yep, there's Dismember, shrinks Devourer, Devourer dies to TKS, but that's okay. We draw. Play the Power Plant, minus Karn. Yes. Grab Battleship. Play Battleship. Battleship will pop E-Temp. Trigger, always yield. Pithy Needle. Nothing we really need the needle right now. So in that case, we'll just go to Upkeep. Liquid Metal Coating, target Power Plant, and pass. I mean, this should be GG's. I don't foresee many ways out now. Yep, opponent scoops it up. So this is Eldrazi Tron. Win for game 1. On the draw, what does our mirror look like? Sideboard guide wise. Etron, Cut Chalice, Soul Guide for Disruptor Flute Brain. So, Soul Guide, Chalice, Flute Brain. And run back. Guess we could replace Dust with a 7-mana value spell. Either that or Sky Sovereign. Kinda wanna. Alright. I mean, this is a K-Command X 2/2. Dismember as backup. Tezzeret's decent here. I'll keep. Opponent also keeps. Do they have a Devourer? They do. What do you exile? Hold pass in full. So we'll tuck Sire, hold Dismember, then have K-Command. Fleshraker, Sire, Temp. Okay. Temp and Passin. Draw. Mine. We'll stick with the Lab, tuck Sire, hold Dismember. And we'll hold. Do you have TKS on 2? Lab, Imprint, Devourer. That resolves. Show me the TKS. TKS ETBs, cast Dismember, targeting TKS. And yield all. There's Ugin, 2 K commands. You have to take a K command, I think. Give me 2 K commands is just a lot of value. Takes the Tezzeret. Interesting. Okay. Draw. Tower. Oof. And I think I still have to go Temple because this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of want to get this Ugin ASAP. So I think I'm just going to stick with a Temple and hold K commands. Yeah, seeing the Tezzeret get picked is interesting. On there, end step, K command. And done. Karn Flute. Both are really good. Top, draw. And draw. So, we can go Karn. See, what I'm actually tempted to actually do here is to actually preemptively Flute. It's really tempting. Because my thought here is they're clearly holding up for K command, right? They're clearly holding up for K command. We'll play the mine. You also could just go Karn for EE and basically threaten their 3 Eldrazi spawn tokens to try and keep them in that bay. That's also another consideration. Other consideration, of course, is just hold the K command. They know we have a second one, right? What's the right move here? Karn go for EE. Play EE and hold. That gives us both Flute and... And I think we go Karn. Karn minus ES. Karn for EE. Play EE for 0. This way, if access to both Flute and EE, if they decide they want to go K command, they at least aren't going to be generating any spawns. They're not ramping, which is relevant for me. The next turn, if they play Karn, we can always go for Battleship. It's a little bit of a weird line, but I think it's correct. Yep, there's the K command like I thought. Again, we could have maybe Flute for K command. They still go for the spawns. Alright, bold move, Cotton. What does your top deck look like? Yeah, because if they go for Karn themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can then theoretically go Karn into Flagship and start popping their Karn. 2 top, 1 bottom, draw. Let's go to end step. Crack the EE. And pass. And pass. There's Lab. 2, 4, 5, 6. They do have 7 Eldrazi. Tucks an Ugin. What Eldrazi do you have? Looks like TKS, if I had to guess. TKS, yep. Sees K command. Probably has to take the K command. Yep. Okay. 2 more cards in hand. What else you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have a map in exile? I do not. Draw. Swamp. Not really what I wanted, to be completely honest. So we can play the tower. Yeah. They already know about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could go console flagship. That's kind of not great, to be completely honest. What else can we do? Because flagship's only dealing how much damage? Dealing 3. We could go bridge. Bridge does stop the TKS. Still allows me to hold up the flute as well. As a consideration. We can do... what else? Taking up relay isn't a good option. We could go ballista. No. Yeah, if you want to keep the Karn on board, probably the best option is unfortunately a bridge. So minus Karn. Yep. For a bridge. And cast the bridge. No attacks from the TKS. Now we have access to flute. So they play their own Karn, we can just flute Karn, and then it's bricked, and then we're kind of in an interesting position, actually. Because then our only, win conditions is, fun enough, yep, in response. It is a flute. Karn, the great creator. And pass. So now I think our win conditions are Flesh Rakers. Funny enough. And they already took out 1 Flesh Rake. We have 3 in our deck. There's map. Map's bricked. Draw. Dismember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play a swamp. Do I want to dismember TKS? Maybe not yet. Maybe hold just in case. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we'll hold the dismember for end step. Because we want to play the Ugin. And with Ugin, we should be able to get to our quote-unquote combo kill. End step. Dismember. Draw a card. Always yield. Mind Stone. Need a land, please. Flesh Raker. Flesh Raker's good. I will play the Flesh Raker. Cast the Mind Stone. Trigger. Always yield. Always yield. And pass. And we'll hold on off chance it's relevant. What are we thinking, opponent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, he could have played the Devour, not that's doing anything. 5, 6. K command, X equals something. Do you exile the Flesh Rager? I think you have to. Still have another 2 in our deck, though. Nope, they're going to ramp, they're going to scry draw. Wonder if maybe they brought in a leveler from their side. Either that or battleship, maybe. So digging 6 deep. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn we do have Ugin. Then we start a clock on them. One, 3 top, 3 bottom, draw. You have another TKS? That'd be rude. Yeah, it's a TKS. Yep, that's rude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Not much we do about that. TKS eats Ugin. End step, I'll grab back the Sire just so I have something to play. Draw. Tezzeret. Tezzeret's pretty good here. Sire Tezzeret. I mean, Tezzeret gets us to a few things. Oh. So, thinking here. I mean, Tezzeret. Yeah, let's go Tezzeret here. Tezzeret triggers. Minus Tezzeret. Pithy Needle. We could just Pithy Needle Ugin, funny enough. Otherwise, we could go map. What else could we needle? We could just needle Karn. That way, if they do have a leveler or something, it doesn't matter. Karn's still bricked, but maybe not. Vaccine Bubble's interesting, but it could also be bad for us. I'm thinking Needle more than anything. Let's go Needle. I'm gonna actually Needle Ugin's Lab. That way they can't return their Ugin. Trigger, Tezzeret, and pass. No attacks, and pass. Seven, 4, 8. There's the leveler. So now they can hit Bridge. Triggers Tezzeret. That's actually funny. So Bridge is down. I did find the leveler. Attack with TKS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh boy. I will have to... Interesting. Attacking the Tezzeret. I'm gonna block the spawn. Yeah. And draw. Devourer. Actually, Tezzeret is mana neutral. So minus Tezzeret. Trigger. Thinking maybe Vexing Bauble here. Cast the Bauble. Triggers. And triggers. And pass. And pass. Now they could leveler, pop Karn. We can block and block. And the leveler definitely changed the landscape. 10. K command. Yeah. That leveler may have just won them the game. Unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're short 1. Yep, there's K command, X8, Sire down, takes 7. They can attack Karn, pop, flute. So that way their Karn's off online. Yeah. That's probably the correct line of choices here. I think my only out at this point is my own leveler. Which I can't cast right now either, which is the problem. Alright. 3 top, 5 bottom draw. Attacks. Attack Karn. Attack me. Interesting. Target flesh. So I mean, we could retain our Karn, but is there a benefit in doing so right now? Probably not, since Flute's still on Karn. So I'll say no. Down to 6, lethal's on board, we draw. Lab doesn't do anything, we will concede. Alright. Move to sideboard. I will cut the Gemstone Cavern for what? Eldrazi Tron. Do we bring back in the Chalice? I guess. Like, there's some use cases, though. Maybe the Ballista's better. Let's bring in the Ballista. Alright, let's do that. And run it back. On the play for game 3. Yeah, we'll keep it. We're looking for a Tron land off top. If not a Tron land, a Soul land will do. Yeah, it was a very, very close game 2. Alright. Does opponent keep their opening 7? Mulligan down to 6. Reveal Devourer. Trigger. They also reveal Devourer. Yep. Trigger. Alright, looks like we whiffed on the Tron land. Instead, we do find a Soul land. So in that case, I think we go Lab instead of Temple, potentially. The benefit of the Lab is that we can obviously spend more mana. So I think we go Lab here. We'll play the map and pass. And let's see what they exile. We'll play Fleshraker next turn. Ooh, pitches all 4. So they're looking for someone specific. Wonder if they're like me, trying to go for Tron on 3. Lab, Imprint, cast, Fleshrake. Do you have Dismember? You do not. We'll pass. So now, Vexing Baubles, mana neutral, Mind Stones, -1. Temple, do you have a Fleshrake of your own? They have a Mind Stone. Do you have a Dismember? They do not. We draw. I will cast Mind Stone. Triggers. I will play Vexing Bauble triggers. I'll play Urza's Mine. I will go to combat, swing for 2, and hold up a K command X2. And there's tower. They're missing just one. So they have 2, 4, 5. Eldrazi, do you have a TKS? 5. Looks like a K command. So they're going to try and exile the Flesh Raker. Maybe Scry Draw after, or are they going to ramp? In response, we'll K command. In response, we're going to ramp Scry Draw. This will be a +1. And done. Yield to all. Ugin, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ugin Flute is pretty good here. They should only have 3, so they shouldn't have enough for a TKS. Ugin Flute, Ugin draws, and Pass and Full. Draw. 0 top, 3 bottom for them as well. Actually, I'm thinking here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could crack map first, so we get our land drop. That might not be a bad idea. So 2, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll crack the map. And 2, 3, 4, 7. I'll go with a power plant or temple. 2, 4, 5. I mean, the Ugin will be good. If they do Needle Effect Ugin, we're probably going to want the temple, to be honest. So grab temple. Ugin. Ugin trigger, done, always yield. Plus Ugin draw Karn. Karn next turn solid. We'll pass. We have Tron. Ugin starts a 2-turn clock for opponent. But we do need to mindful this Vexing Bauble. Pain 7. 4. Sire 7 death, okay. So we're trying to threaten the Ugin, basically. I would like a land off top. That's another Ugin. 2, 4, 1, 2. So the thought here is that I can go Ugin 0, play Karn, play Bridge. That would be the thought process. Yeah. So Ugin 0 goes 4, yeah. Because otherwise we could chance the draw, but I think that's correct. 0. Karn the Great Creator. Trigger Ugin. Done. Always yield. Karn resolves. Minus Karn. Always yes. Always yield. Yes. For Ensnaring Bridge, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we go Bridge again. And it's unlikely we're cracking the Mind Stone. So I'll just play the Bridge this way, hold Flute, and hold Flute. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll hold Flute in case of Karn once again. And opponent's going to scoop it up. We'll take the win. Solid stuff. We'll be back for match number 4. All right, we're back for match number 4 on the draw for game 1. We will keep, we're trying to angle for turn 2 Karn or a turn 2 K-Command X2 on 2 to ramp us into Ugin, but we do need to draw a land off top across the next 2. Looks like this is Affinity. That's a slow start for Affinity too, so that's good news. Draw. There's our land. We can now imprint Ugin, cast Mind Stone. Hold up Dismember. Next turn we have Karn. And that might just be the end of it. Of course, we do need to fight through a Metallic Rebuke, so we do need to be mindful of that. Metallic Rebuke could be detrimental, so we might need to strategically use this Dismember to cut them short, if possible. But with that really slow first hand, it's looking promising. Oh, draw. Main. What you got, friend? What we got? Bones thinking hard here. There's the Memnite. That's fine. No Pinnacle Emissary. If they go to end step here with this, all this untapped, Ornithopter, that gets a bit rough. I kind of need this oh, okay, and Mox. Ugh, looking worse. Thoughtcast. Okay. If they leave up the Opal, damn. Shocked. Pain for Kappa. No, they have enough for Kappa. But I'd really love that Steam Vents tapped. Yes, yes, opponent. Thank you. All right, equip. That's fine. I do wonder if dismembering the Memnite's correct here. I think I do, because the only thing that can hurt Karn, and also reduces their artifact count. So Memnite down, unequipped Shadow Spear, passing, draw, tower, Karn. Alright, opponent, you're left with 2 lands. If we minus, they could get Galvanic blasted, and I don't exactly want that, so I think I just plus on Opal and try and keep the cap off board. I think that's correct. Alright, we'll pass. And pass. And Bone scoops it up. Clean win against Affinity. Alright, let's go to sideboard. Alright, sideboard-wise, let's look at our sideboard guide for Affinity. We want Chalice out on the draw, which is a bit counterintuitive, but it kind of makes sense because traditionally on the draw, they're just going to dump their hand on turn 1. So we're going to bring in Explosives, we're going to bring in Flute. I think Flute is relevant if we try and disrupt Kappa, for example. And I think that should be good. We could cut Dust, but I kind of like Dust for Kappa. One thing we could consider doing, actually, is cutting a Swamp. Though they do sometimes play Blood Moon, so I think I might actually keep the Swamp. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. Besides, what do I bring in exchange for a Swamp? I guess Ballista, maybe? That is a thought, but I think it might just be better for us to keep as is. The Ballista is better in, like, Brood Scale, because then we can equip it with Blade of the Blood Chief and ping down their board, but that's less relevant here. So I think all things considered, I think we're good with what we have. Yeah? Yeah. I think so. So let's run it back. On the draw for game 2. I mean, that's 8 hits off the top for Tron on 3. K-Command can be used to cycle and exile a 0 mana value spell. We'll keep. We'll pass. There's a Starting Town, Springleaf Drum, and Memnite. Tap Memnite? No. Draw. Ooh. They can't play around EE right now, so I'm just going to play the EE now. I guess they can play Consign, but they can sign this. I'm okay with that. Yeah, that is A-okay. A-okay by me. Pass, because that means they're not consigning Karn. There's Thopter. Ooh, cranial plating. I'm concerned. The good news is we can Cake Command it next turn. We draw. Map. Ooh. I mean, we can't... Okay, so we can't go to Tron next turn regardless. I think mitigating damage here is correct. They do have enough for Kappa, so I think exiling now makes sense while their shields are down. They have one in hand. Starting town, read starting town. Yeah, you can swap over the cranial plating basically for free. Actually. We're gonna have to call their bluff basically. Basically, I could exile the Mem Knight. That makes it so they can't play the Kappa. I think I still K-command here. I think I need to play it safe just to mitigate damage. And maybe we get lucky and draw into mine. Vaccine Bauble. Vaccine Bauble would have been good a long time ago. Unfortunate, but is what it is. Would like a land. Like I said, this keeps off Kappa. They can equip Cranial Plating, which is okay. But it's going to be less damage in comparison. Pinnacle Emissary, Ornithopter, and equipped a Thop. Yeah. 6-2. Yikes. Big yikes. 9. Another K command. I really, really need lands. Oh boy. Maybe I should have played the map last turn. If I would have played the map, we would have then been able to play Karn. I guess then strip the cranial plating off. Maybe that was the right move. Shoot. I will... I'm in trouble. Let's do it again. Ornithopter down. I need a land, please. That's not a land! We're so toast now. Yeah, I wonder if maybe the cranial plating or the map would have been right. Because we would have had the X2, we open an X or something, then Tron next turn. Yeah. So they can equip again. 3, 4. Oh, there's the Kappa. I need the mine now. I desperately need the mine. If I don't find the mine, I think I lose. Draw. Oh. Okay. How can we make this work? We have Karn. That stops the equip of cranial plating. Sure. I mean, if they Kappa hit Karn, that's fine. So, I mean, I think we just have to go Karn to bridge and basically try and stabilize. Karn to bridge. They can't equip plating. So yeah, Karn to bridge, I think is right. Karn. Minus Karn. Yes. Kappa can still attack, but that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we then go for bridge. Yes. Go for bridge. Play the bridge. So it doesn't stop the Kappa this turn. But that's okay. Because we're going to try and do it next turn. Again, they can make the Kappa unblockable. At most, I think between... No, they don't have 3. Hey, they don't have 3 mana. At most, they have 6. Let's say 7. 7 damage. So attack Karn, attack me down to 8. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. We draw. Sire. Sire's good. But we do fear the cranial... Actually, with Sire, do I fear the cranial plating? I don't think I do necessarily. All right, let's start with map. They can't counter anything. So yeah, I think we start with map here. Map. That gets one card out of hand. We go for tower. Play the tower. Now, I can cast Karn again. How many cards can I dump from hand, basically, is the question. We can K-command. We can K-command the Pinnacle Emissary. And that will then generate... do I actually want to exile the Pinnacle Emissary? That'd be X equals 3, so that'd be 5. That would leave us with 3 left over for Karn. So that'd be Karn 1. So we can cast this, cast this. That leaves 3 left over, so they can't attack with Kappa at that point. Versus if I don't get rid of Emissary, then they can attack with Emissary. So I think we do have to ramp and exile the Pinnacle Emissary. And done. So Emissary is down. Then we cast Karn. Karn ETBs. And then play Vexing Bauble. I mean, the Kappa's already offline. So, I mean, we could just... Minus Karn for what? No, probably just best to plus Karn. Keep it on board. So we'll just Vexing Bauble at this point. And then plus Karn. I guess we could plus Karn on Bauble. I don't think that's necessary. They shouldn't have anything that can attack or to grow on ground. So just plus on nothing. And then pass. And pass. Okay. We're still in it. The drone can attack, but that's fine. Next turn we can play the Sire. Hell, next turn we can play Battleship and just clear the board. But opponent's going to scoop it up. They don't have a way out of bridge and Karn on board. We got there. Thank you, top decks. I do think, as always, and I always will say this, I think it's good to analyze our wins just as much as our losses. In retrospect, it may have been better to take another, 5-6 damage from the Memnite with the cranial plating and play the map for Tron on 4. No, I've been Tron on 3. But we only had 2 mana left over, so we could have then exiled the Memnite, right? May have been a safer bet. We thankfully lucked into the mine, but had that not happened, we would have been SOL for sure. So got a bit lucky there, but sometimes it is better to be lucky than to be good. With that being said, though, we'll be back for match 5. All right, we're back for match number 5 on the draw for game 1. Potentially against Mill. I'm not thrilled about this, friends. I mean, we're hoping for Water Grave, Shock, okay, Crab, Mill, Dismember, Draw, Power Plant, want a Tower, Dismember, Goodbye Frog, not Frog, be gone Crab, Goodbye, no Crab, no Crabs allowed. I would love to see a Soul Land off top for this Flash Raker. I need to start pressuring the board ASAP. Watery Grave, passing, draw, Power Plant, don't want Power Plant. I'll play the Mind Stone, pass. And pass. Next turn we have the Flesh Rake or a Cake Man. If they play another Crab, we can do that, but they play the land, so unlikely. Play a Power Plant. Oh geez. I haven't looked at Mill's list in a hot minute. I want to say the only counter magic they should be playing main right now should be Drown the Lock, but I'm gonna double check that. Neil. The answer is yes. However, but because they have that fetch, it does make me a bit scared of a Fatal Push. I'm actually going to hold the K command, I think. I think this is better to then go into a Sire 7 Death to apply pressure instead. I think that makes sense. Surveil. Do you cycle a Fractured Sanity? Drownlock to Yard. If you cycle, I'm going to K command now. Visions Beyond is fine. You draw a card. Okay. Draw. Main. Polluted Delta. Pain cost 4. Fractured Sanity. In response, I'm going to K command. X equals 2. I mean, they can't drown and lock me now. So maybe this is fine not to do until after. Now if he's top a card, yeah, we'll just let that resolve. That's fine. That's fine. What did you hit? A lot of good stuff. Surprisingly enough, no towers? No, the one tower. Damn. Go to end step. End step. K command. Unless you play Consign main, this should resolve. 2. Ooh. Ugin's good. But is it good enough? I think the Sire's better. But they can also just drown and lock the Sire, but they can't the Ugin. I think Devour or bottom. Ugin top and draw. And draw. Play the power plant of the mine. We'll play the mine. Yeah, because them losing 7 life to the Sire really means nothing to them. So I'm going to Ugin. Ugin trigger, no targets. Do you have Consign to Memory? Ugin's going to 0. Flashwick. Let's see if you have that Fatal Push like I think you do. Then I'm going to pass. 2, 4, 5, 6. Polluted Delta, fetch. There's the push like I thought. Okay. So they have the push. We pass. Polluted Delta. Question now is if they have the Drown and Lock as well. They clearly don't have a crab, but if they do, then we can always exile it. Polluted Delta fetch 13. Interesting. K command. Play the... So I'm going to 0 Ugin. Trigger. I will cast Sire 7 Death. Trigger. Yeah, the Drown on the Lock. Sink. Yield all. Play a mine. And pass. 3, 6. So next time we can play Sire, draw a card, Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin actually scares me. We still have swamps in the deck, but if they have an archive trap, I'm in danger. Yes. Swamp. Do you have an archive trap? Phase change? You have to have an archive trap. There's no way you don't. Yeah, I was about to say. Down to 20. Do you have a second one? Hideous Laughter. Resolves. Down to 5. Oh, God. Alright. We draw. Devourer. Sire of 7 Death. I don't think we can draw off Ugin at this point. Ugin's just kind of a exile card at this point. We pass. We need 2 turns. Just 2 turns with a Sire. Draw. Combat. Attack with Sire. 0 Ugin. Sire. Ugin target. We have K command as instant speed removal. Crab. Oh my god, okay. Trigger, doesn't matter. Mill's the last ones. Damn it. Maybe playing the Sire before the Ugin would have been right. Probably because applied pressure to the board earlier. Yeah, maybe. Like, the thought process with the Ugin was that we could, if they didn't just kill me outright with a Flesh Raker, just go for the OTK with Flesh Rakers and just kill them that way. And also we just generate mana, so we're never necessarily locked out of our 7-mana value spells. But maybe the Sire was right, because my biggest concern with Sire was we played the Sire and they just go Drown Lock. It was a dead card. They took 7 life. They don't care about that 7 life, right? We had nothing else to really play after outside of the Flesh Raker, which I assumed they had the Fatal Push, which they did. I don't know. Maybe the Sire was the correct play instead of the Ugin. Because I guess we knew we had the Devour coming up, so we play the Sire. Let's say they Drown Lock it, then we play the... well then no, we wouldn't have been able to play the Devour afterwards, right? Because we would have used the spawns. So the most we would have been able to play was the Flesh Raker, which would have died to the Fatal Push. So yeah, my thought with the Ugin was just like, generate mana. Basically, we're guaranteed to play anything. Damn. Let's look at my Cyber Guide. Let's see. Meal. On the play. So we got the Soul Guide Lantern. What do we bring in? We bring in Flute Leveler. Yeah, Flute Leveler makes sense. Alright. On the play for game 2. 8 hits off the top for Tron on 4. 4 off the top for Tron on 3. Karn on 3's looking good. I'll keep. Reveal Devourer. Trigger. Looking for Power Plant. Miss the Power Plant, find the Temple. I think I'll take the Temple. So in that case, what we'll do is we're going to imprint Devourer. So that way we can go K Command X2 next turn and ramp. Please don't have Thoughtseize. Shelldock Isle. That's a bit scary, but fine. Better than the crab on 1. And pass. Temple. Hold the K command now. So we can exile crab. Sewer. Surveil. I imagine they play Consign, so hopefully they can sign this command. Move the end step. K command, ramp, and scry draw. Do you consign it? Please do. You do not. There's Power Plant. I suppose drop Swamp and top Power Plant for Tron eventually. Alright. Draw. Tower. Play Tower since we're going to have multiple towers then. And let's see if you counter Karn. Yeah, I was hoping to bait out the consign. They just had it. I mean, it's good job on them for just holding, right? No attacks. And pass. And crab. the restraint on this person. Unless they just drew into the crab. I'm gonna assume they just drew into it. Oh, the bauble. I wanted that for the archive traps. Damn. And the needle for the Shelldock. I wanted all of that. Actually, I don't want the map. You can take the map. Draw. I don't want the map. Play the mine. We'll play the map. We can always crack it later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're short. Next turn we can play the Devour, eat the crab. Unless they can sign it, in which case I cry. If they archive trap me, we can always map because they can't archive trap me more than they already can at that point. Yeah, it's a field rune. Levelers in yard though, I like it. So yeah, that's why I like playing the map here. Makes sense. Field rune targets. What? Tower, float. Float for a swamp. Swamp. Crab, mill. Do you have a surgical effect? That would suck. Preordain. Preordain resolves. I don't need to crack the map right now, so this is fine. Man, I guess we might as well though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, any land gets to my Devourer. Might as well crack it, because once again, it's not like they can archive trap me more. So, crack the map. I will grab... Do I grab Tower? I don't want to get blown out by that, by a surgical effect, so I think I just grab a Temple. Yeah, I think Temple's right. Grab Temple. Show me the archive trap. No archive trap. Okay. So in that case, return Devourer to hand. Play the power plant 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, play the power plant. And cast Devour. Do you have Consign of Memory? Pass in full? You do not. Okay, body's on board. Next we have Tron and K commands, so we can go digging. We also have Cityscape Leveler in yard, which is also relevant. That Shelldock Isle scares me though. I don't know what's underneath that freaking thing. What the fresh was that? Baleful Mastery? Goddamn. Tezzeret. Tezzeret's not finding much here. Damn. Draw. Map. Don't really want the map either. I suppose I can Leveler, hit you for 8, but I really kind of want to just K command here. I could Tezzeret, but I don't really want to Tezzeret into anything, because normally I just grab Needle, Bobbler. I think that's it. Needle or Bobble. So basically I have nothing I want to pull for Tez, which kind of sucks. We could fire off the K command right now, assuming that they're not... I mean, they have Drownalock mana, so I actually shouldn't do that until they fetch with a Flooded Strand. Yeah, I guess. How do I want to do this? Like, I could play Tezzeret map, and maybe we get to a point where we can ult the Tez. Screw it, let's do that. So, play Tezzeret. Does Tezzeret resolve? Play map, trigger Tezzeret. We're going to try and ult Tezzeret, friends. We actually can do some fun shenanigans with Cityscape Leveler by leveling our own map, making a token. So we should actually get to ult next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can ult next turn and start making artifacts into constructs. Fetch. Do I want a K command now? No, I'll hold. Watergrave. Tapped. We can X equals 1, 4, 5. Sewer Surveil, no crab, like that. At what point does Shelldock Isle work? The library has 20 or fewer. We're not there yet. We're getting close. What we thinking here, friend? End step, we'll go for the K command. No reason not to. Show me Drown of the Lock. Done. And drown. Yield all. And draw. Tezzeret. We don't want Tezzeret right now. Paying cost. You suck so frickin' much. Yep, leveler's out. Which means we now can't get to Tezzeret's ult all too easily. Shit. There is an argument for me holding the K command for this turn because we could have K commanded larger than the number of cards in yard. Let's say we still had 14. Could we have gotten there? Let's say 1, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 11, plus 2, yeah. Well, no, because Drown Lock, 11 plus 2, 13. How does Drown Lock read? Equal to, or value less than or equal to, so I still could have done it. Screw me, I guess. Yeah. We could search for a map, but that doesn't make sense to do. Well, we'll just pass. I can't do anything. That leveler was going to be my godsend to ult Tez and start applying pressure to the board. They wouldn't put down the 9. We would have made a construct out of the freaking thing. There's Crab. They mill me for 3. Yep. Draw. Okay, well, we have a map now. Map. Trigger Tezzeret. Tezzeret triggers. We're 1 away from ulting, friends. We'll pass. Oh boy. And pass. Crab trigger. There goes Flesh Raker. I would like that. Would like the Chalice too. We's drawn. Play the power plant. Pass. This is so painful. We'll pass. Crab trigger. Down to 18, which means Shelldock Isle is online. Shelldock Isle is going to have a hideaway, a freaking archive trap. I'm calling it freaking now. No? Wait, how are we not below 18? I thought we were. Okay, that's fine. 20? Oh, you gotta be effing joking me. Play the swamp. Pass. How am I not dead to the Shelldock Isle, I swear to God? Tasha's? What did you hit? You hit all my big shit. Karn, Dust, Ugin. Shelldock Isle? Fractured Sanity? Yep, you got it. GG's. Alright, I mean, it's Mill. Traditionally a bad matchup for Tron. We draw, we did. Alright, well, we'll be back for round number 6. Alright, we're back for match number 6 on the play for game 1. This hand is hot garbage. I'm mulligan. Ooh, this hand's interesting. Do I like this hand? Man. Okay, so what's the best case scenario for this hand? Let's just talk it out for a second. Best case scenario for this hand, turn 1 tower. We draw into either a 7-mana value spell or a temple. We play Flesh Raker. The number of hits off top with temple 7-mana value spell is roughly, what, 14? Yeah, 14. We then have access to Fleshraker or K Command X1, depending on what we're playing against. I don't know what we're playing against, so if it's something with Thoughtseize, this hand becomes objectively worse. I think it's a mulligan. I like it in a lot of cases, but it just feels pretty weak. Oh, mulligan. This is a lot better. Okay, this is a lot better. We do have to mulligan 2 cards, and that's gonna be the hard part. Because we want Lab, we want Devour, we want Mindstone, we want Temple. Do we want Tezzeret or Command? I think we pitch the Mind no matter what. The Devourer and the K Command dig us deep so we can drink deeper from the well. I think the Tezzeret's less useful in that case, so I think we dump the Tezzeret, go to K Command. There is another argument for dumping the Mind Stone instead to keep a playable rather than the ramp. That is actually a fair point. So maybe we do this, keep Tezzeret, dump Mind Stone, dump this. So that way we have a K Command X2 or Tezzeret. Yeah, let's do that. Reveal the Devourer, trigger. What do we see? There's Sire, Soul Guide. We'll take the Sire. Because a K Command X2 can draw us into a land, can draw us into playing Sire on 3. That's appealing. Oh, I don't have the Mind Stone. I pass. And we'll hold on the off chance it's relevant. We don't know what we're playing against. Stomping Grounds. Eldrazi Ramp? Yes, indeed. Alright, so now we have to worry about Ice Till. Yes. I think more of a reason to hold up the K Command rather than Tezzeret. If we had an extra mana, I think Tezzeret going into Needle to name Ghost Quarter could be applicable, but I think we hold. Wooded Foothills. Fetch 17 for what? Surveil. Surveil's fine. Sanctum of Ugin and Sprawl. Sprawl's fine. They're up to 4. They could have Myco Spawn next turn. The Sire 7 is going to be pretty hard for them to deal if we do get to play it. So we're going to ramp Scrydraw, looking for a land to play Sire. And done. There's Temple, there's Karn. Karn's intriguing here. I mean, I think we take both. Top, draw. Draw. So with Karn, we can then play Liquimetal. With Liquimetal, we can take him off a land. Now, they could still play Myco Spawn to grab Ghost Quarter. That is an option, yes. Alternatively, we could go Karn into Disruptor Flute and tax Myco Spawn. That would mean that they would not be able to play Myco Spawn. However, they currently have mana for Ice Till, and that is concerning. So I think we go Karn. Karn minus. I think we do have to go Liquimetal. We also could... No, Holding Flute doesn't really do much. So yeah, I think we have to go Liquimetal. Go Liquimetal. Go to Upkeep. Liquimetal targets Stomping Ground and will pass. There's a Temple. Okay. Yeah, the Myco Spawn. Double red. No, you're gonna need green. Passing. What? Interesting. Second main. Double red. You need to tap it for green, bud. What's going on here? There you go. So, if you Mega Spawn Ghost Quarter, what do you go after? Oh, Writhing Chrysalis. That's fine. We can play around a Chrysalis. I'd like a land for a Sire. Land. Damn. So, what's the game plan here? We have access to 4 mana. We can, of course, take up on a land and pop it, but then they can kill Karn. What's in our sideboard that can deal with Chrysalis? There isn't much. Yeah, we really needed a land there. And I guess we could just accept that Karn dies, otherwise we could go Ballista. Ballista does give us a blocker. We can ping some spawns for us in the sack. But the problem is then they have enough for a Myco spawn to kick. Yeah, missing the land drop really hurt. Damn. We can Tezzeret. Tezzeret really doesn't find anything of use. I guess we could find a 1 mana value spell, play that, and then plus Karn on it. Block the Writhing Chris. That's a thought. And keeping the Karn alive seems relevant. Regardless, we can't really liquid metal coating a land is the hard part. Damn. We also could Stonebrain here. Strange call, but we could Stonebrain, name Myco Spawn, so that way they can't hit our lands. Actually. That is a genuine consideration. Karn would be down, but then we don't lose out on lands. We can then fight the good fight with Sire, but if they have a World Breaker... Oh, shit. There's so many fine lines here. If they have a Myco Spawn, we're just so SOL. Karn minus. Minus for what? Yes. For Ballista to block, or for Brain to get rid of Myco. I'll go Ballista to block. The one downside of this, of course, is if they have a K return in hand, we're going to be hurting. Yeah. Oh, I should have liquid metalled first. Shit. Yeah, I'm going to get punished by that missequence. Because then I would phase change, because now they can have a K command. Yeah, I missequenced that. That's so unfortunate. Yep, that was a missequence, because now they can K command. Exile the Ballista, we'll ping them 2. Yep, that was a missequence. I was too focused on everything else, I forgot that I should have liquid metal coating first anyways. Well, maybe, because I was thinking we liquid metal coating on their upkeep. We also should have thought about both the K return and the K command interacting with the Ballista. Because now they get rid of Karn regardless, and now we're behind on board. Shit. Yeah, so the coding on that would have probably been right. They still would have K commanded it on their turn, but at least then they would have spent mana. Yeah, that land drop killed me, I think. So unfortunate. Played another temple too. I guess the other option last turn, we could have went Karn for Sire. Or instead of Karn for Sire, we could have went just Sire first and then cast Karn. Maybe sequencing in that order would have allowed me a blocker. But then again, we have to worry about the Myco spawn. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11, 13. Do you have an Emrakul? Am I dead? If they have an Emrakul, I'm just dead, I think. Okay, command X6. I mean, if they find another K command, I am dead. Oh, true. I guess they could have X0'd K command. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know my right move was if all of that. And I guess we could just chalk it up to variance that, like, regardless of our best choices, they might just not have been good enough. If we go for Tez for artifact, animate the artifact, Karn's still dead. They still K command the artifact. I think the only decision point that may have put things in a different position would have been Cyrus 7 death. I mean, they would have had 2, 4, 6, let's say 7. They still would have been able to exile the Sire even, and they have the life total to spare. That Karn, yeah. I guess other options we could have went bridge. Could have went bridge. There's a Mind Stone. Not so bad. What do we do here? We play the Mind Stone. We play the Tez. Does it do anything of value? Kinda not really right now. Like, maybe I can use it as a distraction. Let's play the Tez. Like, yeah, we could have Stonebrain for K command. I'm not sure if that would have necessarily been, like, top of mind, to be honest. We grab map. We'll grab map. We'll pass. And this one's a hard one. Like I said, I think that maybe the only other play, the other sequence we could have done with play Sire first and then play Karn. Obviously, we then risk getting Myco spawned, but Sire's pretty hard for them to deal with. But then again, they would have just dealt with the Sire. So yeah, I think no matter what, I was just SOL. No matter how I played that, unfortunately. Rumble, what does Rumble find? Rumble finds a whole lot of nothing. Pulls Cavern Souls. Plays Cavern Souls, I imagine. I mean, they have 12, 13 damage right now. Yeah, I think I'm just dying. Rumble finds Myco spawn. They did not hold up a green source, so at least we're not getting kicked. Oh no, we are getting kicked. Ew. Yeah, that's a problem. Kick lab. That leaves me with 2, 4, 5. I need another soul land for Sire, but even Sire can't outgrow the Writhing Chrysalis. So I think I need a K command of my own to deal with the Writhing Chrysalis, actually. Not to mention if they also have a Ghost Quarter. They don't have a Ghost Quarter at least, so that's good, but we're still in a really bad position. Actually, do you attack the Tezzeret? If you don't, okay, you do. So as if you don't, I just need a land, but you do. At least that 7 damage wasn't going out face. Draw. 7, 13, 14, plus 3, 17. We're not dead. I'll play the map. I'll crack the map. Yeah, the fact that we just haven't drawn into any lands is rough. Grab the temple, play the temple, and pass. Wooded Foothills fetch 14. Summon Grounds tapped. Pass. And pass him. On the bright side, I guess we don't need to worry about Ice till Ghost Quarter, so that's good news. Rumble. Ooh. Oh, there's Airghast. I think I'm dead. Oh, and the Sanctum? Yeah, I'm dead. Because they can attack me, then they can Emrakul. Yeah, I'm dead. I'll make them go through the sequence, but yeah. 4. Sacking. You guys don't even need to sack for the Airghast. You can just play the Airghast. Natural cast, crack the Sanctum, draw 3. Sacrifice Airghast for Emrakul. I think you can probably get to enough where where Chrysalis and Microspawn can kill me here. I'm pretty sure you can. Right now you're representing 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage. If you sacrifice the Airghast, that's 19. Yeah, I think you can make it work, especially if you find, let's say, another Airghast in hand. Use like the Airghast, and then Airghast to, I don't know, Emrakul. Also, yeah, I guess you should just go for Airghast, basically. Yeah, there's no reason not to go for Airghast. Because all you need to do is emerge. You win. Yeah. There's nothing I can do. I just want to have you go through the line. Eldrazi Ramp. Lost for game 1. Another Chrysalis? What was this? So what did you find? Oh, you found Microspawn. Why'd find a Microspawn? Wait, couldn't they just have found another Chrysalis? Hold up. I'm not crazy for thinking that, right? They could have just went for another Chrysalis and they would have had the win. They definitely don't play one Chrysalis. Because that would have added another 2 to board. Yeah. So they make an interesting plays. 14, 15, 18, missing 2. I mean, I'm dead regardless, but they had the win. Are you gonna merge a World Breaker on top of which? What is this? Yeah, the Microspawn makes no sense. Should have been a Chrysalis. I mean, yeah, sure. Kick me more, but like you had the kill for lethal with Chrysalis. We'll just. I mean, I guess I'll just have them keep on revealing cards. Hell if I care. I can't do anything the following turn. I'm just dead no matter what. So keep on playing. All right, 18, 19. Even if you had to merge through the Airghast, right? Even if you emerged the Microspawn out of the Airghast, you had lethal. You're off 1. Oh, okay. I'll concede now. All right. Well, what the fresh hell do we want to do here? Sideboard. Let's look at Ramp. We cut Vexing Bauble for Flute and then Brain. So Brain in, Flute in, cut Gemstone, cut Bauble. Yes, this seems relevant. We could bring Cut a Dust for something, but I don't think it's as necessary, so we'll run it back like this. Alrighty, right. Yeah, they just had all the outs in that moment. It's unfortunate. It is what it is, though. Sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. Alright, on the play for game 2. I mean, 4 hits off the top. That's not enough, though. Not without Devourer. Tron on 4 doesn't seem appealing, especially with this hand, because we have to draw into the pieces, which means we're not drawing into threats. Yeah, I think I'm mulligan this hand. Mulligan. Okay, that's much better. We pitch what, though? See, I want to keep both K commands, but it might be worth actually keeping the Mind Stone. In case we don't find the Tron land, but instead find Lab or Temple. right? Done. Reveal. Trigger. There's the power plant. So now we can go mine into map, and then we have Tron on 3. We just need the hope that they do not play Void Mirror. Otherwise, we're gonna have to crack this map for a swamp, and then we're down to one cast a turn basically. This is where we're kind of at. Oh, son of a. What the hell, opponent? Force of Vigor. Since when have we been playing Force of Vigor in the side? Christ almighty. Alright, well, screw me, guys. I'm in danger. Mind Stone, pass. And pass. Forest. 2, Rumble, Talisman. Talisman's fine. Green, Stirring. Stirring's fines what? I guess Force of Vigor is something we should consider due to the fact that with Ice Till, we do have, what, 3, 4, or 3, 7, 11. So we could run some number of Force of Vigors. Fleshraker or Tez? We're going to go... Actually, we could go Tez for map. Next turn, tap, play map. Untap, tap, tap, play tower. Have 5 left over. Yeah, that is an option. Let's go Tezzeret. Minus Tezzeret. For map. Pass. Pass. Unless they have Ghost Quarter, they shouldn't be able to interact with my lands. Given the Vigor, I feel like they probably aren't on the Void Mirrors. We draw. They have the K command X2. There's Karn. So tap Mind Stone. Untap Mind Stone. Cast map. Trigger Tez. Crack map. For tower. Play tower. Cast Karn. Karn bricks Talisman, but then we're at the mercy of Myco Spawn, right? Because they're K commanding X2, which means they should have enough for the Myco Spawn mana. I think we have a map in the exile. Actually, okay, I have an idea then. Karn. Cast K command now. Or at least they'll float. Minus Karn. Always yes, always yield. Yes. There's not much we can grab out of the side right now that would be relevant, not because of Myco Spawn. So, my thought is to instead grab the map, play the map, trigger Tezzeret. They play the K command, X equals 2. Yep, we pass in full at this point. So you're going to need a land for the Myco Spawn. And even if they do Myco Spawn, we can tap Mind Stone, untap Mind Stone, crack the map for the missing Tron land. Left Tron back online, which allows us to K command, or Fleshraker, or both. So I think we're in a decent position then. Maybe not in a good position, but in a decent position. One top, one bottom. Tezzeret triggers. They draw a card. Alright, your turn, friend. Nice thing about map as well is it does insulate us from a void mirror. Son of a bitch. Stop! Why did you pitch for that, Malevolent Rumble? Alright, do you have Mycospawn land for the kick? You have the land, you have the Mycospawn. You do not. Oh, that's fascinating. We draw. There's a swamp. So I am tempted to do what? We can play the Flesh Raker, sure. Is that enough? I don't know. What I'm worried about right now is another K command. Right? I'm worried about another K command. We could go Karn for whatchamacallit, for engineered or extinguisher battleship, and then clear the current spawns, clear a land. That way, if they do go K command X equals 4, they have 1, 2, 3, 7. Not the biggest fan of that idea, so instead, I think I like playing Flesh Raker. I guess I should have minus Karn before that, to be fair. Minus Karn. This is a bit weird, but I think it's correct. We're going to go EE. I'm going to play the EE. Triggers. And opponent scoops it up. Okay, we got there. Because that way, if they have the K command, we can clear the spawns. We can go Tezzeret, grab another map. That way we can keep up Tron. We still have K command. Basically trying to shut them out of having enough mana for Emrakul or to chain Mycospawn into Air Gas. That's kind of the entire point there. So I think that was the best line we had. Thankfully it worked out. I want to jump some back in, and we could... Eldrazi Ramp. Eldrazi Ramp. You're all the way down here now. We cut the Chalice, that's right. Chalice out and run it back. Okay. On the draw for game 3. Not where I like to be. 8 hits off top. Scary. I mean, let's go for it. We'll keep. Opponent goes down to 6. Maps for days. Reveal Devourer. Pass in full. Wooded Foothills. Fetching. Forest. Forest for Utopia Sprawl. Stomping Grounds. Utopia Sprawl for red. Ancient Stirrings. Okay, that's fine. Would rather you do that than to accelerate. Stirrings finds Temple. Don't like that, though. Trigger. Power Plant. Draw. Map. Map pass. And pass. Temple. What? Talisman. I was like, what are you doing? Green. Stirrings. Need you not to find another Soul Land or Mycospawn. Either one of those I feel like is a death sentence right now. Oh god. Draw. Okay. Now it's a 50-50. That's interesting. We'll pass. Do you have the kicked Myco? Do you have the Soul Land is the question. If not, do you have Ghost Quarters? You do not have the Soul Land, so no kicked Myco. That's promising. But I could really use a payoff here, to be completely honest. Right now we don't have much going for us. Go to end step. This feels like a K command setup. Crack. For tower. Grabs the tower. Draw. K command. I think we hold the K command. We don't have EE main. The other thought is to play a map. What do we have for 1 minute value spells here? Needle. Needle's not doing much. No bobble. There's Soul Guide Lantern. If they go... Okay, so if they go K command, X equals 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There'll be one off of Emrakul. Okay. So I think I have to hold the K command and go Tezzeret for a, whatchamacallit, Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe go Tezzeret, Soul Guide Lantern. We could also play the map and hold up the map. Actually, I kind of like that idea, now that I think about it more. Tezzeret. Tezzeret minus Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern? Tezzeret, trigger, lantern, target, wooded foothills. Always yield. Always yield. Play map. Trigger Tezzeret. Hold. Show me the K command. Fetch. 15. Stomping Ground, shock, K command. Mm-hmm. We know they're going to kick the Myco spawn. There's nothing I can do about that. But we have the map so we can reclaim Tron next turn. I wonder if I should bring in EE main in this matchup. I genuinely might consider it, honestly. Put Filigree Silex back in the side over the Sky Sovereign Flagship. That might actually be correct. Genuinely. Because yeah, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll go to upkeep. And then XL your yard to avoid Emrakul. We have to. Bottom line. We'll hold Temple. 2, 4, 6, 7, 7, 10, short 3, kick Myco. There'll be short 1 for Myco next turn. Myco kick targets. Targets mine float. Do you have Ghost Quarter? If you have Ghost Quarter, I think it's GG's. You didn't play it last game, though. Yeah, now we're, again, worried about Emrakul. That resolves phase change? Or do you have more? Crack map for mine. I mean, you could have another Myco spawn, in which case I'm just really in a bad position. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Tezzeret Confined map. Yeah, Tezzeret Confined map. And if we K-commanded X equals 5, we would add 7 this turn, but I'm not sure we even want to be in that position. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11 if they go for another temple. Not to mention Airghast is on the board, so if they go for Sanctum, we know they have Airghast in hand. Shit. Oh boy. Well, shit. That's Airghast and the Emrakul. There's not much I can do about that right now. We can play the Mine. We can play the Mind Stone, trigger the Tezzeret. We can minus the Tezzeret for Expedition Map. We can play the Expedition Map. And pass. And we pray. So they can attack 3 at Tezzeret, 3 at me, down to 17. Yeah? Down to 17. Second main, sack Mycospawn for Airghast. Utopia Sprawl. Okay. So you have the Airghast. Chooses blue. Wastegate Battle Mage? Oh no. Do you have a Wastegate Battle Mage? No, Airghast. Oh. Oh. Land. Alright, what do we draw? Karn. Oh boy. We're worried about Airghast and Emrakul, right? So in that case, I will crack the map for a tower. We play the tower. What now? We can try and keep as many lands on board as possible with Tezzeret. We can play Karn, we can plus, but then Karn still dies. I guess we can dismember one for Karn to live. That is true. Karn lives with dismember. Then we can go for bridge, theoretically. Yeah, that's an option. The other option is Tezzeret. Tezzeret, dismember, map. That way if they have another Swain Mycospawn, then we're okay. The main concern here is if they have another K command, I think I'm just dead. I don't think there's anything I can do. The thing is if I... Yeah, Karn plus... Let's go Karn. Karn the Great Creator. Plus on nothing. Dismember Mycospawn. Karn will survive, will pass. This way we have the ability to Karn into bridge, theoretically. Because Karn the bridge might be hard for them to deal with unless they are playing World Breaker. The fact they went blue here tells me they think they brought in Wastegate Battle Mage, which scares me a bit. We'll pass. Attacks Karn. Okay. Two, 4, 6, 7. Sire 7 Death. Devourer. Devourer removes nothing. Sanctum trigger. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imagine they grab Airghast, and then Airghast emerge out of Myco. Yeah, merge out a Myco. Did they not? Ugin's Lab. Before the Airghast. So it comes down to whether or not they see an Emrakul here. Airghast. Do you see the Emrakul? 1, 2, 3. They actually don't have enough for an Emrakul. We're actually in the clear for Emrakul. Okay, hold on. Draw. Power plant. Minus Karn. Yes. So, how do you want to proceed here? If we're worried about an Emrakul, what is our play? We could, of course, go Brain for Emrakul, but then they still have a 6/6 and a 6/6 on board. We could go Bridge, but then if they have an Emrakul, they can just Bridge us. Or they can just plus Bridge, hit Karn. It still gives us a turn back, right? Unless I dump my hand. I think I can dump my hand. Hold on. Bridge. Cast Tezzeret. Cast Bridge. I also have to hope they have a Wastegate Battle Mage, actually. Untap Mindstone. Cast Mindstone. This way, even if they Emrakul me, we can make it so that they... I guess, no, the Mindstones are actually still an issue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And cast Emrakul pretty naturally. 2, 4, we can K-command for blockers if needed. But not on the air is the problem. So if they have the Wastegate Battle Mage, like I think they do with the blue. That is a problem. I will pass and pray. I guess the other option was a leveler their Airghast, but then we kind of run into problems if they have an Emrakul, right? We still do, admittedly. The Mind Stones actually hurt me here. What did Foothill? Fetch 11. And is it Emrakul? K-command X equals 9. Ooh, hold on. They'll have 9 mana. I mean, they're going to be able to play the Emrakul regardless. We can exile cards in Yard. It only exile 1 type, though. So you'd still have 3. Plus the 9 and the merge, so it doesn't matter. So the K command really doesn't matter too much. Yeah, that resolves. There's 9 Sponge. I mean, if you whiff here, that would be a godsend for me. Four top, 5 bottom. Yikes. There's the Emrakul. So we will ramp, we will scry draw. Guess I should wait until after end step, basically. Go to end step. I wish I had a way. Oh, you know what I could have done? Shit. I should have Pithy Needled for Karn. I should have minus Tezzeret instead of tapping the Mind Stone. Untapping the Mind Stone. Minus Tezzeret for Pithy Needle. Draw is bad, but they still have the Mind Stone, so they can still go to 3 for the bridge is the problem. I should have Tezzredded for... Yeah, they can go for bridge attack regardless, is the problem, because they're going to be able to crack the Mind Stones, right? So, ramp Scry Draw. Yeah, I should have went for Needle. Yeah, it's such a weird line. Okay. I'll put Fleshraker top, Karn top. I don't think it matters. It does actually matter. Shit. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn at all. They were going to seed out the Mind Stones. Alright, all you. As I should have also sacked the spawns. Yeah, because they Tez minus for Pithy Needle now, named Karn. The Karn in hand is bunk. They can plus Karn on the bridge. So yeah, what I really should have done is I should have minus Tez for Needle. Because had we done that, we could have named Karn so it couldn't tick up on bridge in case of Emrakul. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but I think it would have been correct. It was a very narrow line. Damn. So now bridge attacks in. Yeah, the Mind Stones actively hurt us here, ironically. And now they can just play Needle named Karn. You know? Shit. Yeah, should have done that myself. That way they couldn't have ticked up, and then they'd have had to find a solution to bridge. Triggers Tez. So what's my out here? Draws a card. Ugin. Ugin does help. You want to draw another one? Draws a card. Temple. Sure, play Temple. Sack the spawns. Yep, makes sense. Draw. Swamp. 1, 2, 3. How do I want to proceed here? What is our outs is the question, right? Because we need to be able to block the Airghast is where we're at right now. So if I play the Fleshraker, we can still cast the Emrakul, or the Ugin. But that doesn't really help us, does it? I don't think so. The Karn doesn't help us at all, because Karn's bricked underneath Needle. So if I play Ugin, what then? We only have access to 2 mana? 4 mana at most? Minus Tezzeret. Do I have a cantrip? I don't have a cantrip. I have an expedition map. Shit. In that case, we play Ugin. Did I cut the Dismember? I did not. Do we play Fleshraker as well? Let's start with Fleshrake. Then we cast Ugin. I guess actually we can cast Map first. Map is mana neutral. Actually, it's mana positive. No, it's not, because we can't play a land, right? Triggers. Ugin. Triggers. I think Dismember's my only out here. Even then, I'm not sure it's good enough. Draw. Holy shit. That puts us down to 14. No, we're shy 1. Fuck. If I had held the swamp up, would that have mattered? Maybe. Because we can shrink the air ghast, right? But the air ghast goes to 1, so we take 14, we go down to 14. Shit. If I had played the swamp, would that have worked? I mean, yeah, like I said, I shrink the air ghast down to 1. I go down to 14, though. So we take 14. That's GG's. So if I would have just played the Ugin... If I would have just played the Ugin and plussed first... No, we needed a body on board, though, right? We needed a body because of Devourer. So I didn't play the Temple. We played the Swamp. GG's. If I played the Swamp, we played the Flesh Rake. That would have only given us 6. So we couldn't do that. We had only had 6 left over, 7 with the Swamp, which means we play the Ugin. Make a spawn. Damn. Yeah, there's no point in doing that. Like I said, it shrinks to 1. That's 14 exactly. Yep, you can see. So the solution to this situation was something a bit unintuitive. With Bridge on board, and I think their main way of dealing with Bridge was taking up my own Karn under the control of Emrakul. Instead of taking, or rather zeroing Tezzeret, I should have minus Tezzeret for Needle. Needle my own Karn. That way they can't get through Bridge. I think that was the right choice. Because we can win through Bridge through Flesh Rake. They cannot unless they can deal with it. So unless they had Wastegate Battlemage, which to be fair, I do think they had in their deck, since they did tap, or they did generate blue for their Utopia Sprawl, I do think doing so could have extended it to the point where they timed out. We may have not been able to win in the traditional sense, but we may have been able to win via the clock. So a bit of an unintuitive line. Needle on Mindstone. Oh shit. That's right. Needle on Mindstone would have also worked. Because then they couldn't crack it. Damn. Well, good points. But yeah, a bit of an unintuitive line. I didn't see it until after. But good lesson learned for the future, so we can make use of that information in, ideally, a similar situation, but hopefully don't end up in a similar situation. That being said, we'll be back for Match 7. Alright, we're back for Match 7 on the play for Game 1. This hand's interesting. It's very top deck reliant, but we do have a decent number of hits. Karn, Flesh Rake, K Command, and we'll keep it. Ugin's Lab. And supposedly our opponent is on Eldrazi Tron. We'll pass. We'll pass. Saga. Oh, interesting. Saga for Spell Bomb? Looks like Cutter. That looks like Cutter. Is this going to be an Emery? Emery. So Needle and Emery is appealing here. Cap on Yard? Yeah, definitely. Play the Temple. We're getting close to Ugin, but not there yet. Play Temple. Needle. Does Needle resolve? Emery. Lurker of the Lock. Alright, and we pass. I would admittedly have liked to have gone Saga there, but I don't exactly care for that Kappa in yard right now. I should hold on the off chance it's relevant that I need to crack this Mind Stone. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, they definitely have enough for Saga tokens now. Emery attacks for 1 down to 19. Definitely need to find Karn for an EE here. Or a K command for that matter. Temple, not what I wanted to see. 2, 4... 2, 4, 5, 6. We can play the Sire next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Sire next turn. Makes a construct. Construct is up. 4, 4. I think they probably play a Haywire Mite too, which means this Needle's going to end up dying. Yikes. Just make another construct. Yup. Again, Karn for E here would be really good right now. Boots? Do you have a land? Oh, Jesus. That's 15 damage to face? 16 damage to face. And this Sire's 7 Death actually does nothing to stop it. Because they can just Aether Spellbomb bounce it. They don't care about their life total right now. Oh no. Yeah, maybe naming the Sagas were right. The Kappa was scary, but maybe the Saga tokens were more scary. Returning the Sire does nothing. It really doesn't. Because they have the blue source with the Opal to crack it. We draw. Oh, that's unfortunate. Crack the Mind Stone. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, crack the Mind Stone. Hey, look, it's Tron. Concede. Rough. Cutter. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. Cutter. It's not even on my sideboard guide anymore. It's that not played as much. So what the hell do we want for Cutter? Flute in, of course. Grafdigger's Cage is kind of relevant. Soul Guide, Needle Cage, Bauble, Cut Gemstone. They play Kappa, so all his dust is still good. Could also be Affinity. Yeah, we still want Chalice. The question is, do we want Cage then? Cage is pretty narrow. So if we're cutting anything, maybe just cut Cage. Yes, but I kind of also want EE, right? Normally I cut Soul Guide Lantern for Affinity, but with Emery, and we could keep the EE in the side since I don't play 2. Guess we could cut a Sire 7 Death, but if it is Affinity, then we want to run it back like this. All right. Run it back like this. On the play for game 2. Fleshrake, Karn. Yeah, let's go for it. It's Fleshraking time. Mulligan down to 6 for opponent. Down to 5, that's promising. You want to go down to 4. Yeah, still thinking about that last game. Man, opponent kept 5. Temple, pass, and pass. Darksteel Citadel, okay. Passing. Cast Fleshraker. Pass. And pass. Next turn we can play Fleshraker, hold up Flute. Canal. What else you got? Passing. They could have Consign. Ooh. We could play Karn here, but it does get absolutely wrecked by Consign to Memory. I think we still go for it. We have 2 Karns. I guess actually, hold up. If I cast Flesh Rake... No, then we don't have enough. We'd have to be 1 short, right? Oh yeah, I think we cast Karn. Karn? Triggers? You got Consign? Blue? Looks like it. We got more where that came from, so that's fine. Because they didn't have it, then we were in a good position. Yep, always yield. And yield to all. And go to combat. Swing and pass. And pass. What else you got, opponent? Saga. Definitely want this card to resolve then. If I can draw into a land, that would be nice. So I'm thinking we go Flute here. Actually, let's see. If I play Flesh Rake, and if they have a Consign, they have a Consign. They would consign the Flute plus. So let's... No, I think... If I Flesh Rake, I feel like they Consign. Could they have Metallic Rebuke? They could have Metallic Rebuke. Flesh Rake would get through it. Let's start with Flesh Rake. Again, let's see if they have a Consign. Okay. That does resolve. Which means I can now go Flute. Do we name Consign the memory just in case? Do we think that they were that reserved? Opponent just concedes. Okay, we're good. Flute for the win. Go to sideboard. Let's bring the gemstone and cut what? Probably the chalice here. Keep the Vexing Bauble in and run it back. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Vexing Bauble, I mean, yeah, that's looking promising. Would love a Soul Land or a Temple for K command. I'll keep this. Opponent also keeps their opening hand, which is a bit scary, but this Vexing Bauble might put in work. Otawara. Pass. Please do it. But also don't have Consign. Blue. For Pinnacle Emissary? Yep. So looking like maybe it is Affinity, not really Cutter. But with the Emery and probably Tameo instead. Bauble, trigger. So they do have enough for Rebuke as well as the blue for Consign. Unfortunate, but fine. 3 in hand we draw. Dismember. Even if we dismember, it doesn't matter. So, do we go Ugin here? I think we still go Ugin. Ugin. Tap for Bauble. Bauble resolves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a bit scared about a Kappa. I'm gonna dismember here. And pass. And pass. Can he do anything about a Bauble? Turtle, what are you doing back there, bud? Yeah, my main concern there was land Kappa. Needle naming what? Karn? I mean, Karn just being on the board is enough in a lot of cases. I'm kind of okay with this. What else will you name? I think Karn's the right choice. Can't exactly deal with the needle. I wonder if that is a reason to bring in a leveler or battleship just to deal with needle effects. Draw. Temple. They do have enough for Rebuke, but not enough for Consign. Again, I'm tempted to K-command the drone here to avoid a situation where they have a Kappa. So Ramp Exile or Scry Draw? I think I Scry Draw Exile here. Play around the Metallic Rebuke. And done. You have Consign. There's Karn, there's Mine. We don't need Mine, but I do like Karn. And I'll pass. Because if Karnit's board, they have 1 mana. 2 mana. 18. And Pinnacle Emissary. Does mean Karn will get hit in the face. Mind Stone. Not what I wanted to see there. I mean, we play the Karn, they have 2 mana. They have to focus in on Karn. Whereas I play the Mind Stone, we have 2, 5, 6, 7. So we draw into a 7-mana value spell. That could be good. Ooh. I think we go with Karn regardless. Again, puts their focus on the Karn for 2 turns, if nothing else. And they do have the Kappa. Shit. Kappa's on board. We were right to play around the Kappa this entire time. Draw. Play Swamp. Play Mind Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might actually return the Ugin to hand. So yeah, Karn's definitely down. Trigger. I say no. Always yield. Always yield. Trigger. Not always yield. There's a situation where I will say no to that. Oh, do you have another Kappa? Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Even if this Ugin, I'm not sure this is going to be enough now. So Karn's down. No, they're just going for my face. Okay. I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Down to 4. They're holding up. Oh, son of a. No shot. Double Kappa into freaking Blast. I mean, what the fresh hell do I do about that, man? I got nothing right. I don't think I have any outs. No, not at all. Yeah, you got it. Alright. Well, unfortunately for us, yeah, we could not do much there. I mean, if we had Karn available still, then that was a different story. But because of the Karn being blocked underneath Needle, we're kind of SOL, unfortunately. Unfortunately, had we been able to get to Bridge would have made a world of difference. All right. Well, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Overall, the deck performed well. 4-3 at the end of 7. Still positive record. And had we seen the correct line against E-Ramp, then we, I think, would have won via time. I think they would have really had a hard time dealing with Bridge. They would have been looking specifically for Force at that point, right? So if we, the right play was one of 2 at that point of either A, going for Pithy Needle with Tezzeret rather than untapping a Mind Stone. There's really no reason to untap the Mind Stone in retrospect. I just didn't think about, like, oh, I should either A, Pithy Needle my own Karn, or B, Pithy Needle my own Mind Stone. Things that did not cross my mind at the time. Had I done so, then the game could have ended very differently. Otherwise, really solid plays in the energy. Goryo's Tron, Affinity. mill kind of question mark. I think the only time where I really could say like I guess there were a few miss sequences, but for the most part, the only time that was a misplay or a missed line, not really a misplay, a missed line was Eldrazi Ramp Game 3. But let that be a lesson learned that you need to think through your entire, like, think through everything. Like, okay, worst case scenario is Emrakul, right? You know that's a possibility. You know that that's their out. If they animate the bridge with the Emrakul, we're dead, right? So the better play then would have been to think, okay, well, if that's the concern, we can just needle Karn and it's no longer an issue. Now they need to find an out in the way of Worldbreaker, Wastegate Battle Mage, or Force a Figure, which definitely a lot of good options, but still. That being said, though, with a 4-3 record, very unlikely, if not impossible, actually, to make top 8, so we will be ending tonight's YouTube video there. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if we did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback, be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. If you do want to catch these videos live, you can do so over my Twitch, where we are live Mondays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays through Sundays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Or if you want to watch these YouTube videos early and ad-free, you can do so over my Patreon. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!